The manufacturer says it mildly exfoliates the skin and hydrates the skin. Does it actually do that? Let's find out. Now this product uses 10% of AHAs and BHAs. All of them together is 10%. It uses two different types of AHAs, which are the alpha hydroxy acids, and it uses one BHA, which is the beta hydroxy acid. The alpha hydroxy acids it uses are the lactic acid and the glycolic acid, and the beta hydroxy acid that it uses is the salicylic acid. It's important to know how much percentages of these acids it uses, because unless we know the percentages, we can't determine how effective the product would be or what the product would actually do on our skin. Now the manufacturer does not mention the percentages, but they do say that altogether it's 10%. We can make a rough estimate of how much it uses in this product. Let's do that now. Now the amount of salicylic acid that it uses has to be below 1%. How do I know that? Because salicylic acid in the ingredient list is listed just below another ingredient called phenoxyethanol. Phenoxyethanol is a preservative. Skincare manufacturers are recommended to use only 1% or below 1% of this particular ingredient. And because salicylic acid is listed below phenoxyethanol, we can almost confidently say that this manufacturer uses 1% or below 1% salicylic acid in the product. So that leaves around 9% for the remaining two. That's for the lactic acid and glycolic acid together would be around 9% or just above 9%. Now we do know that lactic acid is used at a higher percentage than glycolic acid because lactic acid is listed above glycolic acid in the ingredient list. So the salicylic acid is 1% or below 1%. The lactic acid and the glycolic acid together is 9% or just above 9%, with lactic acid being at a higher percentage. Now, is this enough? Now, for salicylic acid to be a good exfoliant, we need between 0.5 and 2%. For lactic acid and for glycolic acid to be good exfoliants, we need between 5 to 10% of lactic and 5 to 10% of glycolic. So we can say that this product uses all these three ingredients to the lower end of the requirement. So that's something we need to bear in mind. Now, what does it actually do? Now, lactic acid and the glycolic acid, the alpha hydroxy acids, they gently get rid of these old cells which are stuck on the top layer, the visible layer of the skin. You see, what happens is the old cells from the visible layer of the skin have to fall off regularly and make way for the newer and the younger cells from the deeper layers of the skin. But often, some of these old cells, they're very stubborn. They all stick together and form a thin layer on surface of the skin. They affect the skin a lot. They give the skin a very dull complexion, and they also can be a negative for some of the important functions that the skin needs to do. So what lactic acid and glycolic acid do is they gently break the bonds that is between these old cells, and by breaking the bonds, they make these old cells fall off. These acids do a very good job of getting rid of these old cells, but we do have to remember that in this product, the amount used is towards the lower end. Yes, it does work, but it only mildly exfoliates, and that's okay because the manufacturer themselves say that it's a mild exfoliant. Now, what does salicylic acid do? Salicylic acid goes inside the pores. Pores are the small openings found on the skin, and in there, all these old cells, excess oil, dirt, all that gets accumulated, and after a few days that results in blackheads and whiteheads and pimples, and if that does attract some bacteria, it will eventually lead to acne. So what salicylic acid does is it goes inside the pores, and like an ice cream scoop, it scoops out all that from inside the pores. Salicylic acid is excellent at doing that, at cleansing the pores and preventing the blackheads and the whiteheads and the pimples. But in this product, we use salicylic acid towards the lower end. It does work, but only mildly. Again, it's okay because the manufacturer does say that it's a mild exfoliating product. The other good thing is the product uses two very powerful humectants, glycerin and sodium hyaluronate. Humectants are water magnets. They bind themselves to water molecules. You see, it's always very useful when an exfoliating product has humectants in them, because when you exfoliate the skin, the top layer of the skin, the visible layer, becomes a bit tender, becomes a bit delicate, and so the water from the deeper layers of the skin can easily evaporate. So when you have a humectant in the product, it binds on to the water molecules and prevents that loss of hydration. And glycolic acid and lactic acid themselves are very good humectants. They also bind themselves to the water molecules and keep the skin hydrated. Another thing I want to quickly mention about this 10% product is any exfoliating product which has got a combination of exfoliating acids will usually work a bit lower than an exfoliating product which has got just one exfoliating ingredient at a higher concentration. This product is mainly for sensitive skin people. If you don't have sensitive skin, there are better products that Minimalist offers. That's something you really need to remember. It does brighten up the skin, it does give the skin a glow, only to a small extent, because the percentages used is very small. And I've got nothing against the manufacturer, because the manufacturer clearly says that that's what it does. So if you've got sensitive skin, this is the product for you. If blackheads and whiteheads are your main concern, then this product is not for you. There's another product in the Minimalist exfoliating range that can help you, and I'm going to leave a link to that product in somewhere above here and also in the description. Because the product uses glycolic acid, some people might worry what it would do to the dark skin tone people, because they can get pigmentation. There's a lot of scaremongering on the internet about glycolic acid. You don't have anything to worry about in this product, because this product uses a very small amount of glycolic acid, so it should all be fine. To use the product, make sure you cleanse your face, make sure there is no makeup or dirt on the face, then gently apply this product, wait for a minute, and then use a moisturizer on top of it. Use a moisturizer which has got good anti-inflammatory ingredients like niacinamide, Centellas, asiatica, Calendula, and I'm going to leave some other anti-inflammatory ingredients that you should look out for in a good moisturizer in the description box below. Preferably use it in the night time. Start with once a week, and then gradually you can increase it to 2 or 3 times a week. That's about it. If you liked this video, please give me a like and do subscribe to my channel. That will really help me a lot.